I have the opportunity of being hosted by Vanessa. I've been here about 4 days. I'm going on my 5th day. I will be leaving tomorrow. But I was airing out my life and trying to get stuff clean, so I thought, why not do a gear overview? So I'm just going to quickly go over everything for winter. This is all winter stuff. I haven't had time to drop any of my equipment. I've forgotten some at my cousin's house. I got the Surly ECR. I really just like big bikes. So this bike was pretty much a monstrosity, and it has all the fixings for, you know, anything you want to put on it, right? Just has barnacles everywhere. I'm rocking the 45 North Cobra Fists. These pogies are lifesavers. I don't know what I would have done without them, because these things made it so I didn't even have to wear gloves. I could have baked pottery in them. They're like little kilns. So they have 400 grams of insulation. They're windproof. They're waterproof. They're nice and deep. They have pockets in them, so you can have snack pockets. They hold your phone. One of the guys, when my bike broke, I was looking for a front rack, and they're pretty expensive, and he always wanted to put a basket on one. So I just got a basket, and I actually really love it, more so than a front rack. My tent fits in there. When it's just sitting, it's just a little bit of storage. It's actually quite wonderful. And then I'm using these Axiom front racks. They didn't quite fit with the way everything was on my bike. So for my front racks, I'm using these Axiom ones. They didn't quite fit the way that I wanted to when we were putting them on. So they would just move around. This barnacle here wasn't enough to stop it from sliding. So what I got the guys to do is, it was pretty janky. So we got these clamp things are supposed to go in here. We couldn't get it right, so we got them there, and then we just hammered them, bent. We bent them. That's on both sides. For tires, I am running the Schwalbe Marathon Plus winter tires. They're not like, they're studded, but they're not like crazy studs or anything. These tires were actually they were good. They got me through. I missed my old 3-inch tires. I think these are 2-inch tires. And the one thing about the Surly ECR is you got this low bottom bracket. So the fact that I have smaller tires has actually hindered me. Like if you look at how close that pedal is. Like that's roughly a hand. The back tire on this tour, I've actually broken 2 rims. This is my 3rd rim, and mostly due to weight plus the trailer. So the nice thing about the ECR is we have this little trailer part right here. Before, we were putting the trailer on here, and the extra weight from the dog and all that kind of stuff was just crushing it. So I broke 2 rims, yeah. So these ones are the Ambrosio Kibas. They're 28, and they're also another reason I have this heel striking problem, because they're not the normal 29er, plus wheel set. So for a rear rack, I am rocking the Surly steel rear rack. Of course, I am using the Brooks saddle. I'm actually using the ladies standard because it has like a bigger back end, I find. So I didn't know you had to take care of these, and you had to put Proofide on them and all that other stuff. If I would have known that, I probably would have never got this seat. I'm not a big fan of I have to take care of myself and my dog. I don't want to have to take care of my seat as well. So they are comfy, but I didn't know you had to upkeep it at first. The first little bit, that was uncomfortable as hell. I couldn't figure out why. I was like, people actually sit on this and think it's comfy. Once you do the upkeep and you keep tightening it and you keep letting it do all its things, it's pretty comfy, but I don't know if it's worth the amount of time and worry. And here is the trailer. I'm rocking a Burley D-Lite trailer. This thing has really gone through the shit with me. I originally had their winter ones. They're 16 inches wide, and they're the 3-inch tires. Man, those were so hard on me. I really noticed the drag, and ever since I've switched to these ones, so much better. Don't notice the drag nearly as much. I just feel like it's I should have had those ones on from the get-go. Also, one thing too, Burley's hitch design sucks. Mine, within the first, I don't know, within the first month and a half, it broke. They have little plastic pieces, kind of like where this thing is. This one, I'm not sure what the guys did in Quebec. They got me this one, and it has lasted me, well, since I got that one, which was, well, the very first month and a half of my journey. So it has taken a beating. Like, if we look at that, this is, the frame's falling apart. I don't think it's gonna last much longer, but it did its job. For a sleeping bag, I have the North Face Dark Star. It's a synthetic sleeping bag, and it's rated for -40. I got it off of a guy for 200 bucks. He had bought it 6 years ago, 8 years ago, for a trip with his friends to Alaska, but their one friend died, so they never ended up going. He said it was hardly used. It was 200 bucks. It's huge. It's a huge sleeping bag, even rolled up. It takes the whole back part of the rack. This is my dog, Mikoto. She's probably one of the most important pieces of equipment I have. She keeps my sanity up. She costs me lots of money. She provides love. On top of this is we have the Rab vapor barrier. This thing, I'm gonna make a whole video about it because this thing saved my life. If you plan on doing any kind of extreme prolonged activities, grab yourself a vapor barrier. For sleeping, we have the Thermarest Neo Air X-Therm. This thing is a 6.9 R value. I didn't think it would make a huge difference, but when I got this and I laid on the ground, I almost, like, it was so cold out that when I would lay on it, I could almost instantly feel the heat being reflected back to me. I know that's insane to say, but this thing kept me warm, because the other thing I had was a Sea to Summit 3-season one, I would say, like a summer backpacking one, and it literally felt like the cold was being pulled right outside of my back. So this thing really changed the game. Now, as for clothes, I don't really have much clothes. I have these icebreaker merino wool shirts. I have 3 of them. I'm wearing one. These are 200 weights. This is just a shirt, 1 pair of jogging pants, and then I have 2 pairs of icebreaker merino wool tech pants. I thought they would be for a base layer. They recommended them to me, but they're not really a base layer. They're just, they kind of got like merino wool, and then they got these like things for bending. They're great pants. They've kept me warm. They're just not base layers. I got the Volt, or maybe they're the Spark Sax pant or boxers. These things, oh, they're so great. I don't know where the other ones are. I'm wearing a pair. I have 2 more. I have 5 pairs. The Wigwam socks. And then these pair of wool socks I got from a homeless person. I kid you not. Someone bought these for a homeless person, and the homeless person didn't want them, so he threw them out. And I had stopped at a store where their homeless person was and asked them for a smoke, and they gave me a pair of socks. Oh, and then the only thing that I have truly as base layers, and these are my favorite. I bought these for a festival, Shambhala Festival. They're dancing pants. They're, yeah, Universe Unicorn dancing pants by Electro Threads. So I wear these under everything. They're made for dancing at raves, so I mean, they keep the sweat off me. They dry super fast. They don't get particularly smelly, and they make a great base layer. So there's no festivals in COVID, so next best thing is riding base layer. Now, my repair kit is a little bit lackluster. I forgot a lot of my stuff at my cousin's. Thank God I never had a real bad problem since then. I have not had to replace one tube. These are super useful, proof bide. I use the MSR Pocket Rocket and the Jetboil. I like having both, one to cook with, one to make drinks. The Jetboil is super great for coffee and tea and all that kind of stuff. I have a 64-ounce drink tank. This thing is lovely for keeping warm water, keeping cold water from freezing. It's heavy, but you'll know one thing is I'm carrying a dog, so I was never really worried about weight. I just strength trained my legs. Then for my rear panniers, I have the Arkel GT 54s. These things are so great. I really love them. They were expensive as hell, but they were probably one of my best investments. I just like it's all modular. All those packs come off. they Velcro on, they have whatever, you can make them any way you want. They're not true waterproof though, but they do have waterproof compartments in them, so anything you want truly dry will stay dry. And then these Thule, yeah, 13-liter shields, great small front panniers, not anything special, just they do what they're supposed to do and they do it well. The large Art Kel handlebar bag, this thing's wonderful. It stashes so much stuff. I was going to turn it into a camera bag, haven't done it yet. Camera gear, I just have the Frodo Be-Free Aluminum Advanced as a tripod. I have the A6500 with a Sigma 16mm lens. I have a GoPro 8 that is currently broken. And I'm trying to go through a replacement process. It's going to take like a month, which is really bothers me because I'm going to be done my ride. I'm not going to be able to film the ending of my ride. Almost 7 months on the road. The only thing I really have is my phone. I would do it with my camera, but I don't have any way to record sound with it. And secondarily, I can't really film my bike riding. I have this 26,800 mAh battery. I had two, I forgot the other one. And then the HP MV 2-in-1 tablet laptop. This thing's wonderful. I just recently got this. My father purchased it for me. So, okay, these bad boys. The Salomon CSW Tundra Pro boots. These things are made for -40. They are incredibly comfortable. They suck right now because it's getting like +15, +18 out here, and it turns my feet into swamps. That's just how good. Before I had these boots, my feet were the coolest part of my body. There was even a time that my socks from the sweat froze while I was going downhill. With these, my feet became the warmest part of my body. They are great boots. I've had these boots for less than 4 months and already and I'm biking with these. I don't hike with these. I feel like these are like $300 boots, so I feel like they should be a little bit more durable. Then for my living quarters, I have the Mountain Hardwear Trango 2. This thing is a fortress. Before I had the Trango 2, I had another tent, I can't remember its name, and it just wasn't as good. This thing is amazing. It's actually relatively, you'd think these little snap-on things would make it harder or longer, but I actually, unless it's incredibly windy, I never actually snap them open or off. They're always like that. So, and I mean, really, it's such a sturdy tent that you just need these points. Jackets. I have the Arc'teryx Beta AR hard shell. I have this is my like active jacket whenever I'm riding my bike. It doesn't look like it's not thick. It's not really whatever, but this jacket keeps me so freaking warm. If you start moving or anything, like I'm talking about like -30 plus whatever it would be with wind chill, and I would just have this jacket on. Unless it was like particularly windy, then I'd have both of them on. But if I had both of them on, I would generally sweat. So this Proton LT is just, it's an awesome active jacket. And then for the times that I wasn't active or just it was brutally cold, Assyrium LT hoodie. This thing is a down puff jacket and super awesome. All this gear is everything that got me through October to April. All this gear, this is all I've had, and it's kept me warm and alive.